Howdy! Glad that you were all able to make it. Let's go over some business here. Wait just a tick. When did we decide that you were in charge now? Since Master Shophep so tragically disappeared into time, and since I showed up before any of you, I have seniority. But I have stronger weapons. Shouldn't we decide this on the field of battle? Gentlemen, it is illogical for us to argue over the command structure of this organization. Hunter, Dark Stranger is correct. He is the eldest of our group. It hurts nothing to allow him to speak as a figurehead of this organization. Oh, fine. Eldest? Figurehead? You bucket of balls, Al! Wait, you're agreeing with me. Alright, let's move on. Anyway, to address the mechanical man in the room, as you can all see, S34N has passed final testing and is ready to get back to the ruining of reviewing. Isn't that right? My systems are fully functional, and with my recent emotional enhancements, I will crush the reviewer. I will have my revenge. Excellent, that's just what I wanted to hear. Secondly, recently while studying the Mask of Bad Review, I'm really not good at this technobabble thing. Hunter, do you want to take this? Certainly, technology is my area of expertise. We found some DNA inside the mask, and analyzing it, we found two separate, distinct entities formed by morphing grid fluctuations. Using the DNA reconstitutor that I invented, by the way, we've added two new friends to our lovely little group. Would you care to introduce yourselves? Me, Cave Sean. Me no good at talking. Me want to crush reviewer. He don't let me host web show. Delighted, I'm sure. And you, miss? Hello, lovelies. My name is Shauna Lee Fowler. I'm an Aquarius, and I don't know if you boys noticed, but I totally colored my hair, so I look even less like that unfashionable loser who won't let me do fashion videos for his nearly 10,000 subscribers. Alright, now that that business is out of the way, we can get down to brass tacks. We have got to make some kind of big move against the reviewer. Like Shauna just said, the channel's almost at 10,000 subscribers. Dino Charge was a big hit, and Dino SuperCharge looks just as good. His channel's only going to keep growing unless we do something to stop it. So, how can we... Are any of you guys seeing...
Scoot over there,
what?
big boy. The new boss man is here.
What the?
Hey there, boys. And girl, did you miss me?
We would have to know who you are to decide that.
Oh, come on, don't be coy now. The star of the Halloween video?
Oh, right! You're that gaudy skull dude.
Gaudy? You know, your insults are totally beneath me. Let me lay it down nice and flat for you kids. I'm taking things over around here.
What? You have to be kidding me! You have no basis to initiate a takeover? What initiate mean? Get real, dude. Seriously.
Lady and gentlemen, that was only a taste of my power. Anybody care to challenge me? I didn't think so. Now, I believe you were about to start discussing your plans to take down the reviewer. See, here's the thing, kids. You need me. I can get into places you can't. Into the wires, into the electronics. How are we going to take down the reviewer? We're going to take down his technology. From the inside.
Totally. Hello Rangers, and here we go. Welcome to the debut of the third season of Power Rangers episode reviews, Power Rangers Dino SuperCharge. You know, despite this being my third season, this is still another first for me. Super Mega Force was my first season overall, Dino Charge was my first season where I was starting from the beginning of the story, and Dino SuperCharge is the first season where I'm following the story through from the previous season. Somehow, the few short weeks since Dino Charge ended have felt as long as the hiatus did, but one of the best seasons of the show, both in recent memory and period, to be honest, is finally back. Surprisingly enough, we didn't get an early online premiere this season. This time, they made us wait. I know that seeing me post a video on a Monday is nothing new for you guys, but I do still feel the need to apologize. I did intend to have this video up on Sunday. However, I overslept on Saturday and missed the premiere on television. But I mean, that wasn't a problem. I had it recorded on my DVR, right? No, I kind of forgot that this was technically a new season, so I had to set that all up again. And I had to wait for a download early Sunday morning. But now we are all set to go, and I have been waiting to say these words for a while. Let's take a look at the first episode of Dino SuperCharge, When Evil Stirs.
Not so fast, reviewer boy.
What? Who's that? Wait a second. That voice sounds familiar.
That's right, it's me, the Silver Skull. I told you I'd be back. And watch this. Nah.
What are you doing?
If we can't take you down, we're going after your tech. I've infected your camera with a virus. Soon it will fail, and you'll have no way to record your precious reviews. Best of luck fixing it.
Kaizoku, can you do anything?
Stand by! Scanning! This is really bad. It's a very complexly coded virus. I'll work on a countermeasure, but it's going to take time. You can do the review, but don't take too long.
Anything I can do?
Just do the review. The first SuperCharge review might be the last.
Okay, Sean. Focus. Let Kaizoku do his work. The episode opens with a shot of Tyler driving, accompanied by an oddly sitcom-like musical strike. Dino SuperCharge was filmed in front of a live studio audience. Then, having gotten out of his car, we see him writing in his journal again, but instead of being addressed to his dad, this time it's just a regular journal entry. It's accompanied by a quick recap of the events of Dino Charge, catching everyone up. We then cut over to Sledge's ship to be reminded that whatever is in Heckle's cell at the end of Dino Charge is still there. Oddly, it says a similar yet different line from the end of Dino Charge saying, "Sledge is gone and it's my turn now." If this is the shot right from the end of Dino Charge, how would it know that? Then it's time for the new opening sequence, so let's run over some quick notes on that. First of all, there's a new font being used. They work in shots of Snide, and we never see Sledge. However, we do see Fury and Wrench. Kendall now gets a color, purple of course. What's funny about that is Chase's color is also kind of purple because glowing black is purple. Heckle is shown the same way the Rangers are, alongside a monster form that kind of confirms that he transforms. And, as is unfortunately tradition, the opener includes several tiny spoilers. We see a new power-up form for Tyler. 2 of them, actually. One of them seems to be able to use Ankylo, at least, as a sort of mini Zord. And, you know, I don't seem to recognize that dark blue Zord label. And this is a minor disappointment, but just like the other Neo Saban seasons, this super season uses the same theme song as the original, which ends with the name of the previous season. I know, writing a new theme song for 22 episodes might be a bit overkill, but I mean, they could have at least modified it a little. Power Rangers, Dino SuperCharge. And credit to @morg_Lamia on Twitter, because this is something I did not notice. The final shot of the opener, before the logo is a shot of all the Rangers that comes from Kyoryuger. The problem is that the shot originally used the Aqua Ranger. To fix this, they darkened the footage, making that Ranger sort of purple. This is really painful if you're looking for it. Back on Sledge's ship, one of the prisoners says that they've been crashed for weeks. Sledge's grunts have been astoundingly loyal, not just staying on board the ship, but keeping the prisoners locked up. The creature in solitary emerges from the cell, and one of the spike balls says, "I thought Heckle was in that cell?" The creature says his name is Snide, and he's taking things over. Alright, time out, and time is actually the appropriate term. Last season, we saw Snide peek out of his cell right after the crash. At the start of this episode, we saw what was apparently a repeat of that scene. Now, you're telling me that weeks later, he's just now getting out of the cell? What was he waiting for? Showing more of that crazy loyalty, a spike ball attacks Snide, and it went as well for him as it did for the 2 spike balls last season. Whew, fatality. However, Snide must have overdone it a little bit because the symbol on his neck glows and he's forcibly transformed into Heckle. Yes, it seems that their names are more than just a coincidence, as the two have a Jekyll and Hyde relationship. When Heckle is in control, Snide can still speak to him through his pocket watch. The two of them are also very different. Snide wanted to control through intimidation, but Heckle wants to kill him with kindness. He orders all the cells opened and for snacks to be brought out. However, Poisandra, Curio, Fury, and Wrench are still sad about Sledge, which makes sense. Wait, what? Yes, even though all 5 of them were on the bridge when the ship crashed, Poisandra right next to Sledge, apparently Sledge was the only one who died. Not that I even believe that just yet. In a clever bit of writing, Wrench establishes that the reanimator machine does still work, however, they don't have any pieces of Sledge to reanimate. Heckle has a very generous offer for the prisoners. Any of them that can bring him an Energem can rule the universe at his side. Otherwise, they're free to go. And yes, because if I don't mention this, someone is going to ask me about it, there are Necroli and Beevil. If you remember, we saw them last season, and yep, they're still there. One of the prisoners decides that freedom is the best option. Bad call, dude. As he leaves, Heckle zaps him and then gives that great psychotic justification that obviously he was going to betray them. But to who? The Rangers? Heckle says if they're going to stay, they have to pledge undying loyalty to him. It's not like they really have any other options. At least not yet. Alright, time to catch up with the Rangers. Coda gets letters from 2 of the Rangers who aren't there. I mean, I suppose they're for all the Rangers, but maybe they're addressed to Coda, so when the Rangers get them in the mail, in the museum mail, they'll know they're for the Rangers because nobody else knows Coda. Anyway, the letters are from Chase and Shelby. Shelby is in business school, although it kind of sounds like she doesn't want to be, and Chase is winning skateboarding trophies. A big order comes in at the cafe, and Ivan is stressed out because the cafe staff is down 4 workers now. Kendall says not to worry because she's interviewing someone for a waiter position, which wouldn't really help Ivan and Coda in the kitchen. Surprise, surprise, it's Heckle. He has a great near slip, by the way, telling Kendall that he's from out of town. A kitchen accident calls Kendall away, giving Heckle a chance to see where Shelby and Chase live. Snide chimes in, literally, and says he's wasting time, which is a funny line when spoken from the inside of a pocket watch, and also shows that the 2 of them don't always agree. We then cut to the business school, where we see that Shelby's dad is Colonel Truman. He's excited that she's taking marketing and accounting. I'm not really sure why, it is a business degree, but her true passions are revealed when she spots a trilobite fossil in a pile of rocks. Maybe it was planted there because when her dad leaves, she's captured by an icy wind. Over in New Zealand, Chase parkours off a ledge and clearly jumps down far enough to snap his skateboard in half, but doesn't because he's too cool for that. The girls he was trying to impress were scared off by Mr. Cold Wind, and Chase is also taken. Riley is back on the farm, but only has time to turn on a hose before feeling the cold himself. Tyler is driving through the forest, listening to what must be a mixtape that Shelby made for him when he gets a flat tire. Actually, he ran over a Frozen-themed spike strip and calls Kendall, Miss Morgan, to tell her about the icicles that he just ran over. But then he also feels the cold chill. Or does he? In the Dino Lab, which I'm guessing is basically the Rangers' private break room now, Kendall tells the other 2 about Tyler's message. Coda tried to call Riley earlier, for some reason, but didn't get an answer. They decide that they should check it out, and I guess Tyler didn't get far from Amber Beach, seeing as he was only a short drive away. Ivan and Kendall find Tyler's frozen Jeep and are then frozen themselves. By who? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's Ice Age again. Wrench did mention earlier that the reanimator still works. But come to think of it, Ice Age wasn't actually destroyed the last time we saw him. Albert had captured him. So that's really neat either way you look at it. And the very first monster of Dino SuperCharge is the exact same first monster as Dino Charge. Coda finds them and fights off Ice Age pretty well considering that he's completely unarmed. But this is where the episode takes a pretty big left turn. Ice Age freezes Coda, and as the ice climbs up his arms, we can see that Coda is freaked out. But then he somehow ducks out of the ice, leaving his sweatshirt frozen in place. But we very clearly see that his hands were iced over. I mean, he was holding a rock, but I don't really see how that helps. And don't worry, folks, we're going to be coming back to this. So Coda escapes and takes the truck, just barely managing to drive it back to the museum. He desperately tries to get in contact with Shelby when he hears someone coming down the slide. Ivan and Kendall have been captured and he hasn't heard from anyone else, so naturally he's freaked out. Turns out it's Tyler, who escaped. Somehow. Even he says he almost got me too. Koda is, not surprisingly, beating himself up over that last fight, and we get some more of his backstory. It turns out that Kendall and Chase found him while they were searching for the blue Energem. As a matter of fact, Kendall invented the Dino SuperCharge specifically to free him from the ice. Being frozen gave Koda a phobia of ice, so when he was frozen by Ice Age, that's why he freaked out and hence why he ran away. Tyler and... oh, hi Keeper. Tell Koda that he shouldn't blame himself and that the Energem bombs are keeping the Rangers safe inside the ice. Ice Age attacks in the city, and after Tyler hears how Koda escaped from the ice, hatches a plan, but it requires them both being frozen. Koda kind of freaks out, but decides to do it to save his friends. Parkour because of reasons! Kaizoku, anything?
I'm barely 25% into decoding. This thing is tough. Keep revealing.
So Tyler and Koda run at Ice Age and Instamorph. It's a little sad that the first morph of Dino SuperCharge is an Instamorph. Ice Age freezes them and takes them all back to Heckle, Snide, who's changed again. I brought you all 7. I think one of the 2 of them would know that there are actually 8 Rangers, not 7. Seeing that Tyler and Koda are morphed, Chase decides to destroy them first to take their Energems. But when he does, only the suits are inside the ice, and this is where the episode takes a turn onto ludicrous street. Because the Rangers can just do that? Slip out of their suits? A sweatshirt is one thing. You can slip out of a sweatshirt. A Ranger suit is formed on the body from head to toe. There's nothing to slip out of. I mean, I could almost buy this if the top of the suit was there, but the pants were gone. But I mean, of course, the monsters would notice that. It was really just a broken premise that really takes away from the episode. Hooray for rubber pellets! Not once, but twice! Power Rangers science fact of the day. The Dino SuperCharge is made more powerful by screaming loudly for no reason. So Tyler and Koda unfreeze the other Rangers and give them their Energems, which Snide interestingly calls the key to my past, present, and future. But really, I'm just wondering if we can establish what the Energems are capable of doing, because in getting their Energems back, suddenly the Rangers all have their Morphers and their Dino Chargers. The Rangers morph, making this Kendall's first official morphing sequence, and that was great to see, though I'm really hoping she gets one of her own at some point. The transition to the Sentai footage was a little bit noticeable, but the Snide footage is 100% original. How do I know that? Alright, it's time to get this explanation out of the way. Snide's form comes from a Sentai team-up movie, Kyoryuger vs. Go Busters. He was Neo Gaildon, and I'm sorry if I'm butchering that, a recreated form of Gaildon from Alba Ranger. When Alba Ranger was adapted into Power Rangers Dino Thunder, Gaildon became Zeltrax. This is why Snide kinda looks like Zeltrax. The thing is, Neo Gaildon was in that one movie. There's very little Sentai footage of him, making it quite ambitious of them to make him the main villain of this season. Almost any footage we see of him is going to be original.
Sean, you're sidetracking. If you want to finish this review, get back to it.
Snide has Tyler down and is about to stop his beating heart. Seriously, that's basically what he says. When he runs out of energy, running off and transforming back into Heckle. Not wanting the Rangers to know who he is, he retreats. Ice Age takes 3 finishers to finally defeat. Kendall's Dino Morpher Blast, Ivan's Lightning Final Strike, and the Rangers' Dino Spike Final Strike Kid on a Trike. If Kendall won't let the other Rangers, except for Koda, call her Kendall, I highly doubt she'd be cool with Tyler rubbing her head. Turns out the Magna Beam also still works, now firing up to a satellite named Here Because of Reasons, before being reflected back down. It also can apparently create Vivizords. The Rangers form the Plesio Charge Megazord P.A.K.A. formation and Miley Cyrus the Snot out of the Vivizords. They then summon in Rexy by name to form P.A.K.A. Rex formation. 2 more Vivizords and 2 giant spike balls are summoned from the magical land of dreams. but they all conveniently stand in a single file line to be taken out by the T-Rex Galactic Blast. And yes, I am combining the name of those two attacks because they are always said together. Together! Banana! Who remembers that little reference? Wow, I'm referencing my own show. I've been doing this for a while.
Sean!
Sorry! The Rangers return to the lab, all truly happy to be back, despite that meaning more fighting. Shelby is still trying to hide her crush on Tyler for whatever reason. Kendall tells Coda that he was very brave to face his fear of ice, and then Prince Phil shows up a good hour or two late. The end of the episode is a pretty painfully obvious "here's what we're doing now" wrap up. The Rangers have 8 Energems, they are looking for the Aqua Ranger and the Silver Energem. Alright, before we lose the camera here, let's dig up some super fossils! Episode 1, When Evil Stirs. Pros, Heckle and Snide are... an amazing character, great backstory for Coda, and a well-written episode. Cons, the linchpin of Tyler and Coda's plan made absolutely no sense at all. There's still confusion over how the Energems work, and Ice Age kept pulling monsters out of his ice hole. The debut of SuperCharge was a great episode, but I'm sorry, it wasn't perfect. When Evil Stirs gets 4.5 super fossils out of 5. I want to end this video, if it makes it to the end, on a good note, so let's get the bad out of the way first. The episode started cracking a little bit when Coda just somehow slipped out of his sweatshirt, but it snapped clean in half when Tyler and Coda were somehow able to just get out of their ranger suits. What? How? The suits morph on, the suits morph off. I mean, sure, the Rangers can remove their helmets, but that usually involves unclasping them. It just really bugs me because the Rangers basically won this fight by cheating. The only way this would have actually made sense is if they were Ninja Rangers. There's your problem, guys. You used this idea 1 season too early. Like I said, I just really wish we could establish what the Energems are capable of, whether they can summon the Morphers or the Chargers or whatever. I mean, the Rangers did just kind of get their Morphers when they bonded with their Energems, so that part makes sense. But we have just had far too many cases of the Dino Chargers just showing up. I mean, Kendall did not have her Dino Chargers when she was frozen. She gets unfrozen and she has her Chargers. Just give us an answer, establish something. And my point about the monsters might seem a little bit petty, but it's just... I mean, okay, those first 2 Vivizords I can kind of excuse. Maybe those were just the Vivics that were at the battle. But they get destroyed, and then we get 2 more, and 2 giant spike balls without the Magna Beam firing again. I mean, this was a Sentai footage problem, but they could have matched the footage better. Those creatures just weren't there. Alright, now the good. Ryan Carter has burst onto the scene and is owning every scene he's in. The scene where Heckle sets himself up as the new boss is just amazing to watch. Heckle has such an amazing range, going from happy and polite to psychotic and back. Snide is also a fun character, and the balance between the two is going to be interesting to watch. It was taking a bit of a chance for them to make the debut of the new season basically a Coda focus episode, but that's the kind of thing you can do when you're finally used to writing in this 2-season story format. It was great getting more of Coda's backstory, horrid CGI saber-tooth tiger aside, and his phobia of ice is completely natural and totally fits his character. And in the end, this was really just more Dino Charge. The show hasn't missed a beat overall. Quality acting, quality writing, and just a super fun episode. This was really a great start to the new season. Well, I guess this is the end. Unless, Kaizoku?
Sorry, Sean. No saves this time. I'm only 43% into the virus, but it's 98% through the camera's firewall. There's just not enough time.
Well, I guess we're one and done this season. I'd like to thank you guys so much for... What the...
This is incredible! The virus is gone! The camera is perfect again!
That's incredible, Kaizoku. Great work!
Sorry, Sean. I can't take the credit for this. It wasn't me. Something in the SNES did this.
What? Well, whatever happened, I guess these reviews are just meant to be. Thank you guys so much for watching this first SuperCharge episode review. I'll tell you guys what. Leave your thoughts on this episode in the comments below, and I'll randomly pick one comment and feature it in next week's review. And we'll do that every week. Make sure to click like on this video and subscribe to the channel to see my reviews of Power Rangers every week. And of course, until next time, may the power protect you. Here's a preview of what's coming up on next week's episode of Dino SuperCharge, Forgive and Forget. Snide plans to contaminate the city water with venom that makes you forget who you are in hopes that the Rangers will be infected. Meanwhile, Riley has a score to settle with an old rival at the Amber Beach Marathon. You know, despite this being my third season, it's still a first for me. Not the first blooper, though. One of the best seasons of this show, both in recent memory and period, to be honest, is finally back, and I don't remember the second half. Somehow, the few short weeks since Dino Charge ended have somehow felt as long as the Somehow, the few short weeks since the... oh my gosh. The episode opens with a shot of Tyler driving, accompanied by an oddly sitcom-like The episode opens with a shot of Tyler driving. Tyler's writing in his journal again that, come to think of it, that's badly written. Sledge's grunts have been astoundingly loyal, not just staying on the ship, but keeping the prisoners locked up. Back on the ship, he orders all the cells opened and snacks to be brought out. And I lost it. Otherwise, they're free to go. Damn it. Obviously, he was going to betray them! This Heckle Snide thing is screwing my steez. Obviously, he was going to betray them! Heckle says that if they're going to stay, they have to pledge undying loyalty. Forgot about the Rangers part. Kendall tells him not to worry because she's interviewing a waiter right now. Not interviewing a waiter right now, interviewing someone to be a waiter. I mean, I could almost buy this if the tops of the suit was there. The Rangers morph, making this Kendall's first official morphing sequence, which was awesome to see. Though I am hoping that she gets one of her own soon enough. The cats, stop it, the cats, just please. The thing is, Neo Galdon was in that one movie. There's very little Sentai footage of him, making it very ambitious for them. Snide has Tyler down and is about to stop his beating heart. Seriously, that's basically what he says. When he runs out of energy, Ice Age takes 3 finishers to finally defeat. Kendall's Dynomorpher Blast, Ivan's not wanting the Rangers to know who he is, oh god. Snide has Snide has Tyler down and is... Ice Age takes 3 finishers to finally defeat. Kendall's... Snide has Tyler down and is about to finish him off. Nope, stop his beating heart. The Rangers return to the lab, truly happy to all be back despite that meaning more fighting. Shelby is still trying to hide her crush on Tyler for whatever reason. The Rangers return to the... Kendall Toast... If I could talk, I would be good at making videos on YouTube. The Rangers all return... They don't all return to the lab. Of course they all return to the lab. The Rangers return to the lab, all truly happy to be back, despite that meaning more fighting. The Rangers return to the lab, all truly happy to be back, despite that meaning more fighting. Shyler... What? How? The suits morph on, the suits morph off. I mean, sure, Rangers can remove their helmets, but that usually involves unclasping them. Alrighty, now the good. Ryan Carter has burst onto the scene and is absolutely owning it. And in the end, this was just more Dino Charge. This was really a great episode. And that's enough because that spoils the joke at the end. Actually, I don't remember what the next line is.